tolerated in their career, and the husband is stagnant and they don't have that drive or passion that you want them to have. But it's like, why should the woman feel guilty of making so much money? So anybody could throw that on the table?
You know, I really feel that the woman shouldn't feel guilty because...
Well, the man makes her feel guilty. Let's put it that way.
When the man makes her feel guilty. Well, when the man makes her feel guilty, then I think she still should have enough integrity for herself and self-worth to not allow that to happen, because when you're in a relationship, you're in a marriage, it really shouldn't matter who's making the most money if we're really coming into oneness in our relationship. And so even when you're made to feel guilty, you still got to know who you are. Mm-hmm. You have to know who you are, because if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. Mm-hmm. And so you got to stand and know who you are. You got to know who God said you are, because when you allow somebody to strip you of who you are, then you're walking around butt naked, and now you have no integrity. You have nothing. Right. You have no self-worth, and now you're just exposed, to the world, because you were feeling guilty. Well, I don't want to show up my husband. I don't want him to feel bad. I don't want. But the thing is, when you're doing that, you're giving up everything of who you are.
But I have a lot of friends who do make more money than their spouses, and the spouses make them feel guilty about it. They diminish their light. And I think you put something out like that today on FB.
I sure did. You should not, I have to repeat, diminish your light to let other people shine. Mm-hmm. And you shine by helping others as well as helping yourself. And I have a shirt on that with our tagline that says, "Oh, sure."
Her shirt says, "Love yourself enough to support yourself." Now, that is Bahia Shabazz.
And with that being said, when you support yourself, as we're throwing around the word worth, your self-worth. You will not allow someone else to diminish you. And it says a lot about you as a person who will allow someone to do that. And it says a lot about your relationship as well and the man you have chosen. A man who finds a woman, finds a good thing. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, he knows how to support his woman, and he doesn't allow himself to feel as though, wow, she's doing way more than me. What about me? It's about, again, you are working together. So as a woman, and I'm going to say this, I do make more in the household, but when we file our taxes, it's not, okay, by here, you're head of household. No, he's still the head of household, and we file together. Mm-hmm. The government doesn't care. I don't care. No one else should care. Mm-hmm. And I don't make him feel as bad either. And we do it together. We do it together.
Well, let me ask you this, because the second part of this question says, do they feel resentment? Let's talk about the resentment that some women feel because they do make more money than their man. How can you talk to that woman who resents the fact that, as Reggie said, I'm making $150,000 and you're only making $50,000? How do we get her to understand that even though he's not making as much, it's still coming to the same household? How can we remove that resentment?
Baby, there's $200,000 coming to this household.
Exactly. Absolutely. And I think that's the part that they oftentimes women miss, that you're so focused on, I make more than you.
Mm-hmm. It becomes
because if you really looked at it as one, this is what we make as a household.
Right.
And so now you have this resentment. But I think that resentment is a dangerous thing, because one thing I know for sure, it takes one loss for that woman, one job loss, one diagnosis of cancer, one diagnosis of some type of degenerative disease. Now your $150,000 job is no more. And now you turn to that good husband that you have to make the $50,000 and say, baby, I don't know how you're going to do all this, but you're going to have to do this. And now you want to gain this respect. Now you want to put this load on him, but when you had your job, he wasn't making enough. You weren't pulling your weight.
But that could be reversed too, Pam.
Yes, absolutely.
Even though she's down and she making $150,000, he could wake up and say, "Man, that's $150,000 we not seeing anymore."
Absolutely.
And like you said, we living off of your $50,000, and that's when a woman say, "Now what you gonna do?"
Absolutely.
Do you really think that it's the money that makes the difference? I remember when my ex-husband, when we were married, he had lost his job, was bringing in unemployment, but I was the breadwinner. The resentment that that I felt wasn't about the money. I just felt like I was working a whole lot harder than he was.
And that's where the resentment comes in. That is,
I was very resentful.
Because what happens a lot of times when you make more money than a person, there's more obligations that comes with it. And so we want to be able to deal with how do you deal with that resentment or removing it out of the way, because it only causes a strife or a division in a household. It really shouldn't matter who makes the money, as long as we've made the agreement as two that money is ours, not yours or just mine.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sorry, he was a good housewife, but I felt resentful that I had to do it. It wasn't about the money; it was about the fact that I had to.
He was like a Scott Bale. Huh?
Yeah, it was all about me having to be more responsible, and it did cause issues temporarily in our marriage, and then he got that great job and did better than me.
Madam Shabazz, what do you got to say?
But you know what? This question, this is the question that I posed, what you just said last week on social media, and it blew up. And believe it or not, a lot of men were responding, and they were saying, if my wife makes $350,000, we make $350,000. We do it together. But how to handle that resentment? First, get over the fact that you're defining yourself by your paycheck. Stop doing that. And people, because I coach a lot of couples, and they always bring up the divorce rate and how money played a major issue. It's not the money. It's the underlying issues that happen within your family. Now, you just put the money cherry on top. You have to talk. You have to talk. At the end of the day, what this question boils down to: can a relationship survive if a woman makes more than a man? Yes. You have to have maturity, you have to have respect, and you have to have constant communication. That's how you handle this situation. That's how you handle the resentment. That's how you handle your marriage. Communication. Tell your partner, okay, let me let you know what I'm frustrated with. When I come home, this is not done, or I need you to support me and I need to support you as well. What do you want to do so that I can make you better? Yes.
And not a money
Stop.
issue.
Yeah, exactly. I want to make
out of it.
right.
So, I was going to say you haven't said anything in a while. What do you guys add on to that real quick?
Pretty much what Bahia said. It's really not about the money. It's about the communication, because at the end of the day, like I said, we're all on the same team. But if we're not communicating, we're not going to win. And that's really what it boils down to.
And, I'm going to play devil's advocate here because that's my job on the show. I'm going to say, in some cases, I disagree, because with most men, if that woman makes more money than him, he's going to have an attitude. There's going to be some resentment. And some people have came on the show and said that I don't want one woman making more money than me. Yeah. That man's going to have that resentment because society has told him he's supposed to be the head. Right. He's supposed to be making more money, and he will cause an issue with that. We heard one person come on the show and tell us that their husband asked them to quit their job or make less money because that man felt like he was emasculated because it was just money. As they say, money, money, money. It was just the money because he felt that because she made more, she was the head. Now, I'm not saying that's right, but we got to deal with the reality that, yes, it can be something just as simple. You make too much money to me, girl. You got to quit that job and come down to $50,000.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, no, sir.
But because of your ego.
But I'm gonna tell you this: it is for the love of money. But I'm gonna tell you this: stop allowing society to define your household. My husband is the head of the household. He is. I respect the decisions that he makes, and I'm gonna tell you this: I truly empowered him. It was not like that initially in our marriage, and it was okay. You're the one who has the master's degree. You're the one who was in corporate America. You're the one who stopped to start your own business. And I love what he do because he risks himself every time he goes to work as a firefighter. And so I have to empower him to say, okay, it doesn't matter what academics I have or what I have to bring to the table. You are the man in this household. And I respect you. It has nothing to do with the money. My name is not stamped on the Benjamin when we spend it.
Hello.
Can I say something? Yeah. I mean, I respect what you're saying. Everything you're saying is accurate, and, but I know too many people, too many women that feel that they are, because this gentleman makes less than she does, that he's the scum of the earth. He is not worth the ground he walks on because he does not make what you make. And then, I don't care how hard these people try, they are not getting the proper respect from their wives. I mean, instead of being, because I've always felt we are together. We've been together for 33 years, and it's always been us. Mm-hmm. But when it becomes yours and mine, that's a problem. That's a big problem.
Add something on there real quick.
I think what women and wives need to realize is that because he doesn't make good money, don't mean you don't have a good man.
Right.
And so you don't want to miss the fact that you got a good man. Later for the good money. If I know I got me a good man, whatever he got to bring to the table, you know what? God, I thank you for my good man first. Because a lot of women, what they're looking for the good money. And you think the good money makes him a good man. No, the good money don't make him a good man.
No.
But he can make real good money and treat you like nothing. So give me a good man first. Yes. And whatever money he made, God, you know what? I'm trusting you to multiply it. Mm-hmm. And so that's, I think, is more important than anything. That when Reggie and I got married, he made $112 a week. And I told him, baby, you are a good provider. You are a good provider. Not because he made a lot of money, but out of that $112, he brought $112 home.
Amen.
And he put it where it belonged. Yes. That was made him a good provider. Not because he made a lot of money, but he was a good man doing the best he could for his family.
Yes.
Hey, it seems like we're going to have to cut this short. We only got 30 minutes a day. Hey, I'm going to ask you all to call WYCA and tell them I need to hear more Let's Stay Together radio. Call them and let them know you want to hear more about us. We want to give a special thanks to WYCA for giving us this special Thursday to talk about this. Hey, it seems like we might have to even do a part 3 of this because this is too explosive. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Daryl King and the Bling Bling every day at 6 a.m. I'm rushing. Every day at 6 a.m. to 10. That's my girl. You got to listen to Daryl. I've got 1 minute, baby. You got something you want to say real quick?
Real quick. Next week's show is about home care versus assisted living, how to make the right choice.
Hey, we got to give a shout out to our pastor and First Lady James Meeks and Jamel Meeks. Hey, you got to listen to those shows in April. We're going to be talking about abortion, domestic violence, living with AIDS and addictions. As far as that, you need to listen to the show. I want to thank my guests. Thank you very much. I got like 30 seconds to go. I want to give a shout out to my baby, my girl, my boo. I love you, girl.
I love you, boy.
Hey, let's go to something real quick. If you got a song, hey, thank you for listening. Come back Tuesday, 7:30. Let's Stay Together show. Thank you for listening.
There's someone out there that is hurting, and I know someone out there that thinks they're worthless. I know there's someone out there that's heartbroken, and I know someone that lost their job and they ain't working. But I know a man that is able to fix everything you are going through.
You have been listening to Reverend Rick McCain and author Brenda McCain. If you would like to be a sponsor of this show, please contact them at Let's Stay Together at Comcast.net or send your monetary donations and financial gifts to the Let's Stay Together Show. Post Office Box 902, South Holland, Illinois 60473. That's P.O. Box 902, South Holland, Illinois 60473. Be blessed.
Come on, hit a homer, Jesse.
Let's go, guys.
Hey, did you guys know that kids who play sports earn more money when they grow up?
Of course. I knew that.
Hey, did you guys know that kids who read books have a bigger vocabulary?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Wow, jinx. Did